Welcome one and all to the Charlotta Super Bowl, our Charlotta only PS4 double elim bracket, raising money and funds for the Smith family. I'm here with Seth Series to commentate the Charlotta exclusive action, celebrating the life and mourning the tragic passing of community member Jeremy Zerms Smith. Hello, Seth. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Hey, hi, hello. I'm Seth Series. I am here alongside my buddy Monkey Business. Like I said, we're here to celebrate the life of Zerms. We've got the Charlotta only bracket on the PS4. The Charlotta native, this is the best place for Charlotta. You got the extra input lag. You got net play. This is just, we're celebrating this character the way it should be.
Yeah. I mean, this is where probably most of the Charlotta-ing has gone down through the game's life, if you consider also like the early release, casual player base, you know. Regardless of how big that delay number jumps around on the right side of the screen, the Charlotta players are always still having fun regardless, you know. The higher the delay, the closer their ranking of their experience in the match, you know. 10 delay, 10 out of 10 experience. That's what we're about. No parsec here, just on PlayStation Network. We're paying for this to use our own internet, baby. And we're gonna love it.
We got that PlayStation Plus subscription. This is all in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Zerms is, when you think of North America, it's who I would consider the Charlotta player. Honestly, I think in terms of this event, he's the favorite to win. But we'll really see. Oh, and we're getting a good theme start now too. The Seox theme, Illuminated World. Phenomenal.
Yeah, on the space stage too. This is going to be a cosmic experience. I'm surprised that Charlotta needs to stand on the box when she could just float and feel just as tall as she wanted to on this particular asteroid. But, you know, the purple Charlotta, that's Zerms. I've known that color from him for a long time. And World, I'm not as familiar with, but I'm eager to find out what the differences will be between them.
Oh, absolutely. This is just, you know, this is definitely just going to be kind of the... Whatever's about to happen here, it's going to be real goofy. Because this matchup in general is just kind of... it's very explosive. We just saw it right there. A single decision kind of just turned from start to... Zerms is already down most of his health. Also, thank you to Master Chipmunk for redeeming the Matcherino code. Nice, 30 cents to the pot.
Got a pixel left for Zerms here, trying to fight right out of the corner. Jumps out in typical Charlotta fashion. Granblue is a game that has fought so fiercely to keep the opponent in the corner. Keep an eye on that as the sets progress. Particularly difficult to anti-air has been Charlotta for most of the game's play. Just a faster jump than normal, so you can count on Zerms and the World trying to go over each other in this one. And even as a defensive tool, right? World just jumped away, but Zerms with a chase down lands a throw, and now corners World, the damage begins.
Speaking of good anti-air, shoutouts to both Shuabu and Sigwave for the Matcherino point. And big shoutouts to Master Chipmunk for the $20 Matcherino donation.
Yeah, so the size of the shadow will be exactly proportional with the amount of money dropped in. So we're gonna say big shout out to
Shoutouts to Ben and Burglar in the chat, redeeming the Matcherino code, dropping another hot 30 cents, which you can also do for free.
And super nice and long, gives us plenty of time to segue the Matcherino as many times as we want. That's certainly going to kill. Zerms ties up the round score.
That was really unfortunate too, because by that point, you know, maybe a little bit of optimization, but the World had that, had the very good confirm, got the EXSSB, or got the SSBA confirmed, just didn't, got the accidental DP input, and wasn't able to close it out there. But, you know, early on, so it's like he's starting to find a momentum a little bit in this matchup and work his way through.
And big
waits the DP.
Super on deck.
That is dead.
Looking for a reset instead.
Drops combo, dead.
2L toe taps. Zerms lost the first round, and both rounds 1 and 2 were much slower than third. I think Zerms definitely took command and momentum of the set moving now.
And that's kind of the thing in this matchup is for as much as there's a joke about this character style in terms of just a lot of jumps, a lot of real goofy stuff involving her demon flip, You know, this character does have a couple of different ways she can be played, and we're seeing a little bit of it here. Very aggressive play from both players, but once Zerms kind of turned it off, like, we saw him take a little bit slower, manage to get the pace into his match, and we saw a lot more success from that than just letting the world run game.
Yeah, it's rare that chip damage is particularly relevant in Granblue until the end of a life bar, but Patient Charlotta can actually apply plenty of it, both with Thousand Hand Slap, Charlotta Balls just adding up. I mean, Sword of Lumiel, I should call it. You know, let's use the real titles. We're not talking Demon Flip anymore. We're talking Noble Strategy. And equally noble, busting out of pressure instantly.
I'm sorry, I will do my best to adhere to most of this, but I refuse to call, the call out.
Not negative enough though for EX Ball to punish. So
yeah, sadly I think there's a little bit of a problem with that punish there, but gets the cross up, manages to finish up with the Holy Lat.
I love that name for a DP, by the way.
It is actually, that is really good.
Yeah, Holy Ladder, and she climbs up it like. There's probably 9 steps on the Holy Ladder for all 9 hits of the DP going up. It sounds like a drill. I feel like it might be the crown actually doing the damage there, not the sword.
Yeah, no, like it's got a little bit of spiral momentum to it. Also, shout outs to we got a 30-cent donation. Did not catch the name. I apologize. That is my fault. If you just made that Maturino donation, post in the chat. That way I can go ahead and like properly credit you.
30 cents on the Maturino, but about 40% damage on the super combo, putting Zerms in a position to take it. Defensive late throw tech, though, from World keeps themselves alive moving forward. Out of the corner now, can still kill in one combo with SSBA on deck. It's the retreating air-to-air, well in advance, performed by Zerms, giving themselves a 2-0 lead.
Can of paint, I got a little bit of weed, like I'm burning brain cells as fast as these characters can play, but in terms of these characters, you know, we've got Princess Elsa on the left, phenomenal Charlotta player out of Texas, a little bit rusty, but has recently made the switch to Yule, but you know, obviously in terms of the event, bringing everything out, but Elsa is someone I'd probably also consider a favorite for this event. I know she is, or I know they, use all pronouns. I know they have not been as active due to school, but you can see it here. This has been going quick.
Nice. Excellent punish from Elsa, too. Not too rusty. And, you know, one thing that'll help you get reacclimated to playing your Charlotta is playing the mirror, which will remind you of everything twice as fast, thinking about both what you want to do and trying to avoid whatever your opponent wants to do to you. The mirror match, you know, it's always a little bit more egoistic than typical fighting game matches. It's perfectly even. It's interesting to see where players prefer to play in a match where both characters have the exact same normal range and ideally ideal ranges.
That is an interesting frame kill we saw from Elsa. I really like I believe that's jump you. So one thing I will say here is very quick game from Elsa. You know, as much as they have been away from Granblue over the last little bit, like we're seeing some really strong, just very good fundamental Charlotta play.
It's like riding a bike, you know, or it's like dragging your knuckles and running on all fours, you know, and nobody forgets how to do that. I've been doing that since I was a baby. Yeah,
at a certain point, like, you don't forget how to drag your ass on the rug. It just comes back to you.
Yeah. Already in the corner now is Carrot and getting DP punished once again. Not this time, actually. I called it a little too early.
But... So one thing we're seeing a lot more in this matchup is a lot of use of Charlotta 5U in neutral. This was buffed in the most recent patch, so it's become a lot more viable tool, especially for catching buttons, as well as setting up a couple of conversions.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that buff as well. When Charlotta's already been known as a defensive type,
it's gonna hurt.
Yeah, big throw bait. Not the most damaging combo you can get, but most importantly, equalizing relatively and moving back to mid-screen.
It's not a bad option off of... As I say, it's not a bad option off of the counter hit overhead, but definitely a little bit of damage left on the
Generally want to avoid the third hit of auto combo, for example. You know, all of those little interactions, little small losses of optimization, they can add up. But I mean, you know, the focus, of course, should always be on the opponent and being sure you can execute anything that you can. So don't let us distract you from that.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, as much as we're talking about this, like, there's no money on the line. This is solely just to kind of put money towards Zerms family, which, by the way, you can do by typing !Matcherino in the chat and donate 30 cents for free.
Still, very difficult for Charlotta herself to punish her own faraway SSBA. Oh, actually, Zerms corners themselves with the parry, and then not Zerms, Carrot corners themselves with the parry.
Also going up to match point too. We're gonna see. Yeah, we are going to need Carrot to make a little bit of some minor adjustments to kind of keep going. Like, we've seen signs of life. Definitely took around this game. Got some good options, despite maybe not the most optimal things, but I think we're starting to see it come alive a little bit.
Running another time though. Strong confirmed from Elsa once more.
Oh, and this is the scale. I was gonna say the scaling on that isn't gonna be that bad due to just kind of how. Oh, it's going. Very, very gutsy walk up overhead.
Chip becoming a problem now, and there's DP right after.
I absolutely respect that DP. At that point, Chip was set up.
Reputation anyway, but I think, you know, the Charlotta players, they're speaking a language that the rest of us just can't understand quite as often. And in this case, they're playing really great music. Whose track was this again? Was this?
Yeah, this is Paradise Lost, so it's technically, I think, the Sandalphon track, but...
I see. Well, new colors of Charlotta coming in right now. Haven't seen this royal blue one yet, but she's looking pretty noble over there.
That is actually my favorite Charlotta color. When I was kind of messing around with... When I was thinking about learning this character for the fairy matchup, I really, really like this.
Yeah, that's the Rose Lockhart color. Shoutouts to them, going up against Crazy Dogma, player I know who has played Brand, but, you know, a similarly simple and effective character. A great buffers off S buttons, for example, to Charlotta, so I think Dogma's found themselves a home with Charlotta as well, and also a fork user.
I gotta say, I did not know that she had that fork weapon, and that is phenomenal, absolutely.
Great defensive choice from Rose Lockhart, forward jumping away from the noble strategy. Dogma now in the corner, but fights out adamantly and able to punish this DP. Full combo to super. That is the end of round one. That fork deeply entrenched into the skull of Charlotta. But she's fine, you know, she'll be back for round two.
Oh yeah, no, like, what no one tells you is that the crown doesn't actually store the brain of the Charlotta, it's just fonded.
It's more like a backup, like, diversion strategy, right? Where you just think the brain's supposed to be in there and then it's not. Preemptive DP from Lockhart. Very adamant on trying to secure the corner, and yet Dogma doesn't want to be there.
That is absolutely the mark of a Shoto player. Oh, you DP'd me? Let me DP you right back.
Yeah, and, I mean, don't you forget that the Charlotta quick input DP is on neutral, so they can bust that thing out faster than even the rest of us with our forward input DPs. They have it always ready.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things that's really goofy, especially seeing as it's supposed to be a charge motion DP. You shouldn't just let that rip at any moment just by mashing it out.
Yeah. And it's... Honestly, it allows them to do some pretty interesting things, like chase down DPs, for example, catching jump backs with her amazing forward run speed, and then just immediately doing an air unblockable EX DP on them is pretty Charlotta exclusive, I would say, especially since her DP is also among the fastest, the 7-framers.
I don't think her DP is actually 7 frames. She's got one of the slower ones, which is why a lot of the things can... Which is why there's a lot of setups to... actually take that out.
Yeah, the close L, meaties, quick recovery. Okay.
She's on the screen, or she's on the same area with Fairy and Bugs, where...
Those are definitely the slower DPs, yeah. Every time I've been hit by a Charlotta DP, it's just felt so fast.
That's just the net play coming after you.
The placebo. I mean, that's credit to the Charlotta players, though. They make it feel that way. Players like Dogma, who have gone up 1-0. This is actually probably one of the more medium-paced sets we've had.
This is the immediate... I really respect the... I respect the gall to just immediately start doing Donka balls at each other. It's quality. You know, I I would not say that there are a whole lot of dedicated Charlotta mains in the bracket today, but I really feel like the spirit of just let some stuff rip and go with it in terms of this event is there in spirit. Like, for as much as it is, this character is relatively entertaining to watch when you're not fighting her, so just seeing players like blue scoot across the screen at each other and whatever happens after happens is incredibly enjoyable to watch.
Mid-screen hard knockdown. They both exchange them now, basically talking to each other, showing they speak the same language. And now Dogma gets to secure the left corner. This is typically where Dogma has been defending from, secure the light blade too. And overhead, a throw could kill, and Chip is about to be a factor too. It is now.
I really feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity from Rose. I think she could have got a very good DP.
I was surprised they didn't both DP, knowing that they could have chipped each other out. Whoever DP'd later would have won. Oh, there's the trade, and already ready was Rose pressing the S.
Time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel like there's a little, like, it worked out in the end for Rose, but definitely a little bit of a missed opportunity. I think they, off that far M, could have comboed into SBA, but that's alright.
Yeah,
these
no
things happen.
It's it takes a lot of resource and
we got
situational awareness. There's another one so active on the Charlotta ball.
That's a good. I'll say.
See the punish?
XTP after.
I mean, yeah, EXTP would have worked. It was the big old chart.
3 Charlotta ball clashes in a single set. This is this is blessed. Like, we are.
Believe in victory.
We're in the golden timeline. This is like, if we have set out to put on this memorial event for Zerms, and I think I gotta say, I think we're nailing it. That was one of the dumbest rounds I have ever seen in my entire life, and I love it.
It makes a fantastic sound effect. It sounds like the universe ending every time you get a Charlotta ball trade, clash rather.
It's just one of those things. It's like you kind of want to know, like, what the sound design for is. It's phenomenal. It's a sound that sounds really good, and you just want to hear it a lot.
It sounds like dividing by zero, you know? Quick buffer, light ball.
Yeah, but they're gonna, you know, it's one of those things where, like, if they pull the curtains back on it, it's gonna be like that Bungie video where they talked about how they made the grunt noises, and it was just like a really hyperactive pug.
Yeah,
so at some point, like, you're curious about the magic, but if it doesn't come through, it doesn't come through.
Right. Oh, there's another one. It's on the EX. And Dogma learned the lesson that Rose previously taught them in previous rounds after the clash. Mashing with the close L was Dogma, even faster than the close M that Rose had won twice with before.
Yeah, very good situational awareness, especially after it cost them the previous game, but Dogma is on match point, so this, depending on some of the choices made, that could be what it needs to secure the bracket over Rose.
And look at Rose trying to jump out after the plus on block sword of Lumiel. That's the M version. Apparently spot dodgeable now. You better time that well, though, because none of them really have full-on whip recovery. That's kind of the encouraging aspect of her design.
And that's one thing, especially that's kind of important, is it does add a little bit of the layer to the game. Yes, you can make that minus but safe by doing a good spot dodge, but if she delays it and you get hit, you're going for a ride.
Yep. Counter hit, M sort of Lumiel, much like H, provides the full combo, even without meter, so keep all those things in your mind, but don't let them slow you down. You know, thinking won't get us anywhere. Instant throw tech, reactively too, possibly simulable.
I was gonna say, Rose needs to be really careful, especially with what's going on right now, because I feel like that was supposed to be DP and just did not come out the way.
There is the parry instead of the DP. You can see Rose's DP was just early on cooldown. So we arrive now to the climax. The one set that's gone the distance so far. Hopefully many more to come.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I came in here, I was like, I know a lot of people are picking Charlotta just for the event today, kind of having some fun, but I kind of like Rose's Charlotta. There's like a little bit of, you know, we give her a lot of guff because she wants to play the most honest Lancelot, but, you know, she's sitting here kind of doing, I feel like there's some grime in this Charlotta, and I I think this is. I kind of want to see where this goes.
Embrace it. Yeah, and it's that stare down played at a range where you know Blanca Ball is the threat. They're both kind of maybe waiting for the other to pull the trigger so they could DP it with quick input DP, because from that long range it's definitely reactable.
We've seen a lot of stare downs in this. I don't know if that's just because of like delay issues or what's going on, but
Nah, I think they just have a mutual respect. And there is a safe bait. El Meaty, certainly dead.
Congrats. R.I.P. Bozo. Get out of here.
Although, one thing that is in the script that hasn't happened yet, we haven't yet had $66.06 or 66 cents in the Matcherino. If we could get those 66 cents in the pot real quick, I'm sure we would all appreciate that memory. In the meantime, moving on, Zerms and Nicole, two Charlottas have arrived.
Absolutely. So, very early on, we are seeing Zerms take a very aggressive pace in this, and it's been paying off. He's very, like, we are we're like 20 seconds in, 30 seconds, and this is done. That was a quick round.
Now, nothing quite says aggressive or Charlotta quite like Zerms' choice to drop the confirm that they had on their 2 hits consecutively, go for an EX Noble strategy, and get the instant kill throw option off of that demon flip. Listen to that. Listen to those footsteps.
The pitter patter, just the.
Yeah, I mean,
like she's moving. She gotta be able to move fast on those tiny legs.
Yeah, it's that Chihuahua style run, you know.
Yeah,
they're on a walk, trying to keep up.
The smaller the dog is, the more aggressive it is. It's just the way life works.
Yep. Same holds true for Charlotte's voice. Looks like we just lost EX Sword of Lumiel from Zerms. Must have been trying to DP from that point blank. Oh, what a reaction! Incredible. That was actually a pretty uncertain spacing for reacting, but that's the best thing you can react with. SSBA, huge raw damage, great OP too.
Something else to react to. Shoutouts to KPOW for hitting up the Matcherino. If you want to donate a free 30 cents to the pot here, you can type exclamation point Matcherino in the chat. Hit that pot up, get the free 30 cents in, contribute to Zerms' family in this time of need. Oh, the whiffed grab off. I feel like no one really paid for that.
Yeah, it's the Grand Blue Poor Man's throw bait when they're just trying to tech a throw that you were never even in range for when you performed it. Usually the person who performed the throw first actually can punish the throw type of thing.
Downward button catches the overhead. Oh, it's bad.
It was an aggressive choice from Nick Cool to try to roll right out of the corner, but Zerms keeping it safe and reliable with the close held meaty once again recovers well in time to punish the roll. Full counter hit punish at the end.
On a match point. Parry off too. We've seen. One thing I'll say about this match is it has been a quicker match, but a lot of the interactions we've seen are incredibly goofy in a way that I really appreciate.
Yeah, listen for those sound effects, you know? Whether it's a parry getting eaten or a double parry right in each other's face, just like that. Oh! It's ringing over and over. They love this thing. The U button is their favorite button.
This is the most like parry this casual I have ever seen in a Grand Blue match. I love it.
Aggressive DP from Nicole pursuing and a meaty super. Does it happen? Not this time.
It does not, but I respect.
Punish? Oh. Not this time either.
I was about to say, does Nick know his punishes?
He does not. Punch it out. Punish? No!
Went for the Chicago punish and it did not hit.
No damage. That round refused to end.
What a beautiful round. Oh my god.
Incredible number right there. Next, I guess we'll just shoot for 96-96 for the reverse. And then when you flip over your computer screen, it'll also be funny again. You know, I'm just trying to embody the humorous spirit of Zerms himself on commentary.
It's the literal definition of a numbers palindrome. So
yeah,
the vibes are there.
Right.
So we got Elsa and Rose coming up to the bat, and this is a matchup that I think I'm actually really curious to see because, like we said, Elsa, dedicated Charlotta player, has switched over recently, but a lot of the, you know, it's like riding a bike, it doesn't leave you, but Rose, we've seen, Rose has a pretty solid fundamental layer that I think has really carried her well with this character.
Ooh!
I think it's only in a Charlotta mirror that you're gonna see just someone that run up DP and whatever happens after is between you and God.
It happens to me as a personal player, and I meet God immediately. And we're on a great stage to meet God, by the way. We've like ascended past the heavens that Grand Blue normally takes place in. We're actually in space. If you know, if there is to be any deterrent to the fundamentally sound play you were saying that Rose was representing with Charlotta, it is a play like Run Up DP that Elsa did represent.
You know, and speaking of. I'm gonna say, speaking of the play, shoutouts to Kilobyte for the 30-cent Matcherino donation. Thank you.
Dearly appreciated. Oh, 9 hits on the DP.
9 hits on the DP.
I was, when I said 9 hits on the DP earlier, I actually had no idea there was 9, and now I have confirmation on the DP. So thank you very much, Rose and Elsa. I know Rose might appreciate it later, more than now, because that was 2 rounds straight from Elsa. She's flying through this so far.
Diamond. The movement. I was gonna say the movement is there. Like both these players are just sweet.
Yeah. Charlotta can zoom really effectively. Not just run, not just jump, but even the low recovery frames on ball advancing forward. I mean, you can even her super too. Just gets her in really. This thing, it hasn't been punished all day. Yeah, there we go. So
one thing I'll definitely say is like when you're that short, I think like that just adds to your how aerodynamic you are. So her being just like an orb, she's like cutting through the wind. You see it.
And yeah, I think that's what the crown is about too. It adds to that dynamism.
It's like the sports fin on the back of your buddy's. It's the racing fin on the back of your buddy's like 69 coupe that clearly shouldn't be racing.
Yes. That's a Nick Cool kind of car, I believe.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Will it kill you? Hell yeah. Is it cool? Not as cool as you think, but also hell yeah.
Affirmative answers all around. It's a yes and type of tournament tonight. Both the players rolling with the punches, the sword swings. Cutting off the forward movement was Elsa, but kind of difficult to pick up a full combo off of sweep. And they pulled the trigger at the same time. The fast draw Wild West showdown. Elsa almost kills off of it. Chip was about to be a problem too, so Elsa goes right in, establishes that would-be Chip, but just hits Rose. Excuse me, Rose.
While we're waiting for this to load up, if you want to donate money that goes directly to Zerms family in this time of need, for free, Mike, you can enter !Matcherino to go to the Matcherino and donate a free 30 cents.
Ooh. Fork Charlotta is back. It's Dogma, the only one who owns the fork. I'm not gonna lie, if you're not a fork owner, I may question your dedication to the character or to the craft of Charlotta memery. And I mean, Dogma, I believe they went down earlier, but at least if you're gonna go down, you gotta go down in style, right? So repping that.
Absolutely, and speaking of style, shoutouts to Elsa Hime for the 30-cent donation via the Matcherino, and also with the Tsukihime Dr. Eric avatar on the Matcherino.
As you can tell, never going out of style is Matcherino callouts, Matcherino donations, or Tsukihime.
I mean, we're living in a weird time. Like, it's in the last year, Evangelion, Final Fantasy, and now Tsukihime. It's like 1990s all over again.
Yeah. Late 90s revivalism is in full force. Way past 90% meter is Dogma, who's been so aggressive, rewarded themselves with a full stick of yellow SBA.
Oh, is it?
And there it is, used on the long-range super confirm right off the wall. It's terrifying to be cornered by Charlotta, both for the threat of Demon Throw killing you, the fact that, of course, you'll wall bounce off of any EX Charlotta ball. It doesn't get any easier.
That character hasn't done anything, but you're already in a 3-way mix-up. Yo, speaking of mix-ups, Elsa Hime with bringing the Eric avatar back with a $20 donation. Thank you so much.
Blessed donation number right there, and
the bot.
You can see that during the time that we were thanking them for the 30-cent free coupon code, they were putting in the real life $20, and that makes a huge difference, and it makes me feel very proud for what we're putting on today. So thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of those things where all the community help is so thankful. Everything we are doing right now, we are trying to benefit a grieving family, and you know, it goes without saying, but all of us here very clearly were touched by Zerms. Like, if you were someone else touched by Zerms, Mega's heart for the 30 cents donation. But if you're in this community, it's really hard to avoid interacting with a phenomenal person. Like, there is a mispresence felt, and hopefully, you know, we are able to do some good.
What I remember most fondly about Zerms is people would come to him on Twitter or on social media with any like outlandish source filmmaker like Rambloo meme idea, and he would have it cooked up and published that day. Like, he was so willing to listen to somebody else's creative idea and just make it happen, and not even really like be stepping on anyone's toes to take credit. He would just celebrate your idea and make it happen. Alternatively, run those sponsor quests, a nice compromise between the two. Could put in $1 for subscribing to CrypticHints Twitch account. Cryptic, a fellow Granblue Fantasy Versus commentator.
Fellow Charlotta player.
And yes, most significantly, a fellow Charlotta player. Whoa! X moves flashing everywhere, yellow all over the screen. Neither of them made contact, and so we kind of returned to neutral, but I mean, Rose Lockhart definitely had the advantage in that neutral state because her move choice was not the EX ball. Still the most powerful move for Charlotta at any given time. It's like a gunshot, you know, from the hip. Climbing the holy ladder is the world, now cornering Rose, moving forward. Building meter. Look at all the meter build, and it's too late on the DP.
This is not looking good for Rose, but, you know, we talked about how explosive this character is. A couple of good decisions could turn it around, but it won't be this round that happens.
Yeah, not this time. So the world... Oh, honestly kind of rocking the rose-colored Charlotta, which might be a little bit unexpected.
Yeah, it's certainly not confusing in any way whatsoever, but,
yeah.
You know, it's okay. We didn't come here to make sense. We came here to have a good time, raise a little bit of money, and just feel good about ourselves.
Like we do when fighting against Charlotta, we relish in the confusion. You know, let's just hope we're all seeing the same thing here.
Oh yeah, no, vibes are incredible. Like, we're here to have a good time.
You know what's really stylish about rose color? Oh, go ahead.
Speaking of having a good time, like, the world right now, very, very is clearly having a good time with a wake up button into EX ball for the win.
Yeah, standing upon 2 boxes and gently floating down. Don't worry, Charlotta is in no real danger right there. The frills of her dress will let her fall to safety.
Listen, it looks dangerous, but she's only going to fall like a foot. And I understand that normally that would be very scary for someone whose entire height is probably like a foot, but it's okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah. Gravity can hardly work up much speed when you're only falling 1 foot, which is her entire height.
It's like Elsa said in the chat, you know, she's like a cat. She always lands on her feet. It's all good.
Yeah. And her feet are well protected too by those super heavy noble boots. You can see shiny and metal. The Rose Lockhart blue and orangish color actually really matches the crown to her boots. I think that's probably the most stylish element of the costume.
It is, like, it's overall like just a really appealing color scheme, but yeah, now we got the matching. Oh, it's beautiful, phenomenal.
Yeah, you can tell those knights in the background there. They have their eyes glued to this match. They are so impressed with the what rank is Charlotta in the military? I don't know.
You know, like, we talk about drip in fighting games, but this character got it.
Yeah. And
we finally have seen a punish on the noble execution.
Yep. Good far away 5M into a super. Nice to see the players leveling up as we go.
World going to match point too.
Rose, though, fighting adamantly for trying to preserve the mid-screen space. Basically, whoever gets cornered first will lose, and Charlotte's going to do a lot of corner carry on this combo, except it gets dropped. Nonetheless, the world rolls right into a neutral jump from Rose, who was really scouting out the movement option in advance. There's the super for the kill, not even.
That's all she needed. You know, that's how these things go. Like, you hit the helm splitter, everything's good to go. Vibes are... Love a good helm splitter.
Wake up 5L from the world, and a run-up overhead instead of a combo choice to finish. Very improvisational strategy. Noble, nonetheless, could have killed on the overhead, but has plenty of other options now. Preemptive DP catches Rose on the way up and out. And a meaty super? Actually spot dodge and punish. When do you ever see that super get punished? Not as...
By the way, speaking of Noble, I'd like to go ahead and thank Crazy Dogma and Plastic Mac.
Right on time, thanks to the players not skipping the intros. We heard the difference between English and Japanese Charlotta talking to each other, as if they're truly different canonical Charlottas. Interesting match, to be sure. I appreciate them for not skipping the intro.
Gotta love that crisp Christina V voiceover compared with I don't know who does it in Japan.
Yeah, me neither, but I mean, they're both so valuable to me. I don't mind either. The funny thing is, in online matches, you can hear either English or Japanese based upon player picks, but when you're playing offline, you can actually only have one of the voice languages at once. You can't do the individual choices. So in offline events, you know, the one we've had, it was quite a battle for the players switching it back and forth through the whole top 8.
You know what's not a battle is dropping that 30-cent Matcherino code. Thank you to Victor for doing such. If you also want to contribute, you can do !Matcherino in chat.
Yeah, that's no battle. It's a common cause. We're going to be raising that Matcherino through the roof. I mean, the tournament action is already taking place in space. Seems like most of our matches are up here. And, I mean, we want to take our Matcherino page to the same level, you know, the cosmic planes and heavens above.
You know, one thing we're seeing this stage a lot is it is one of the few stages that is generally agreed upon to be acceptable for net play, so after a year plus of Coliseum, kind of need to change pace.
This stage is the true Season 3 defining.
Very good conversion from Elsa. Gets the pickup, isn't able to convert due to the spacing, but gets the grab, it's dead.
Yeah, 2L close L EX ball. Very important to have those instant confirms on deck with Granblue moves, and a quick input will help you to do that every time, no problem.
Zerms on time, the round count. So I think this is probably going to be one of the more, obviously this is winners finals, this is one of the most important matches in this tournament, but
it's even 3 out of 5.
Yes, I think in terms of the matchup, this is definitely where we're going to see the two specialists play. Elsa and Zeron both are people who have spent incredible amounts of time with this character to learn it, and seeing them play is just going to be the actual display of this character. But as I say that, Zeron striking first blood, taking the first game,
proving to be the taller Charlotta, the only Charlotta mirror match win quote, and yet still such a character defining, characterizing win quote. It's really just about being taller, and unfortunately in the mirror match, we really don't know which one is. Maybe that's what happens. The jumpier Charlotta wins because they feel taller by the end. I'd be interested in finding out.
You know, she's got a normal jump already, but like we're in space, she got the moon boots on, like my girl's flying.
Super jump.
Say EX Demon flipped the helm splitter to get out. Very good decision making from Zeron, but gets punished off immediately after. Bates DP. Oh, this is gonna hurt too. Single hit into SSBA. This is gonna. We're definitely at a point where both players are at a one-touch game, so Zeron's gonna have to be really careful. Goes for it. Goes for the chip out. Does not get it. Elsa gets the round.
One touch, but not one touch chip, unfortunately. Not even two touch chip. If it were, then Elsa would have actually died on the second hit of DP.
Yeah, sadly, it's just the rough thing about the way that this game processes chip out is you have to hit them to get them into where chip out will hit, and then you have to actually chip them out. And those need to be separate interactions. Multi-hitting moves or things that are technically considered in a combo sequence do not count for chip out.
Yeah, the game actually measures it so precisely. It's fascinating when chip is actually a factor, though pretty rare, honestly, because so many characters do so much damage.
I think it's actually a really unique mechanic, especially because it really fosters you to think about how you use your burn and how you're aiming for chip. It's not like a game like Street Fighter 4 where you can just throw an EX fireball and expect to get the chip, get the push to get them into negative health and then chip them out. Like you have to make a calculated decision to set it up.
Yeah, exactly. And Charlotta's one of the best at doing so. The classic combo of either a plus on block EX sort of Lumiel followed by maybe a ball and then an EX DP, you know, that really shreds. That's 3 EX moves that can be used in sequence just to apply chip.
Ooh, good DP.
Right back at you.
Right back. Catches the dash in. Doesn't have the spacing to really get the combo there, but catches the spot dodge, gets the conversion into SBA. I think that's it. Elsa going up 1. We are tied.
Interesting interaction to be sure. I think Zerom got counter hit by the Elsa close M immediately after the spot dodge interaction, but Zerom also had DP, so possibly could have just DP'd instead of trying to get away with a close L, which I think is what happened.
One thing I'll say is one thing I really appreciate about especially Elsa's play is like they're very fundamental in how they play. Like a lot of the spacing choices are really good. A lot of the general choices in terms of clashing are very good. There's just a lot of really good situational awareness that sets them apart as a player.
Whoa.
Ooh, good parry on the EX ball. Goes for the DP, gets punished. I feel like that was a little bit of a missed opportunity in terms of damage, but doesn't matter for Zerom, who's able to close it out regardless.
Securing the momentum, probably the most important priority for Zerom, regardless of the exact punish circumstances. Maybe expected to get a close S on that poke. Kept mashing, didn't get the auto combo.
Seeing a Blanca ball get whiff punish, that is absolutely rare.
Yeah. Listen to that pitter-patter. Denying the corner position is also running forward and then getting DP'd. We've seen that same interaction twice now. A single tick on block on wake up into a DP right after.
I feel like we're seeing multiple interactions like this, but these are,
Block once DP, you know?
We're seeing these interactions, but these are both interactions that I was about to say, I was like, did Elsa get hit? And if not, the DP is coming after. That is arguably like a Zerom trademark is super doesn't hit, EX DP right there. Is your punish perfect? No, get fucked.
One interesting thing about the Grand Blue Fantasy Versus design is that if anything is a true block string with no gap, the game will force you to continue blocking it and your DP will not come out. Yeah, it's specifically when there is an opening that DP will come out and there's not really a way to be wrong with it. So you have to make an intentional effort to bait it and punish it if you're Princess Elsa getting DP'd by Zerom after each of your ticks like 3 times in a row.
Also, if we can get the score updated, Zerom is up 2-1 right now. Only needs to win 1 more game to advance on to Grand Finals, but Elsa is definitely putting up a good fight. I wouldn't sit here and say that this matchup has been free by any means. Elsa, both these players are going, hard in the paint, gets caught by sort of
Is it a whip punish? Yes, it is.
Oh. That's what I said earlier. Incredible situational awareness from Elsa. Like, sees the sweep whiff, lets noble execution hit, and gets the round off of it.
Fireworks. 2 SSBAs basically right after each other, but you know it's the one that creates the cutscene that is a lot more valuable. That was Princess Elsa's to kill after Zerom's was pretty close enough to kill earlier.
Whiffs the demon flip into the low and just gets lit up for it, and then goes for the DP. 2 bad decisions in a row. Elsa's down to 1/3 of their health. This is gonna get real bad, and especially now, like, confirmed. This might be, I think this is dead.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet, but it's close. Gets the 50-50, gets the throw. GG's. Zerom on set point.
Oh, no recovery on wall. DP stealing the turn right after, and there's Zerom's DP. Only hit once though, so no knockdown.
One thing I'll say is we've seen Zerms get away with a lot of just kind of DP interrupts in between like light streams, and you know, one thing I'd like to see from Elsa is bait him a little bit better, because that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage to be capitalized, and especially with the way some of these rounds have been going, I think being able to successfully bait that is one of the things that Elsa can use to secure victory in this, especially because this is a critical round. If Elsa can't take this, then Zerms is going to go up, and she's going to have to, or they're going to have to go all the way from losers bracket up, assuming they win the losers bracket match.
Not this time.
Oh,
it worked earlier in the round, but Zerms sniffed it out well in advance. I mean, Charlotta players, they like to flex that ball privilege, you know? It's cool that it doesn't have much recovery, so of course they DP after, but Zerms actually empty jumped, had no recovery whatsoever, no land ending recovery, and just punished the DP on block. Brilliant strategy, right?
For those who maybe want to have a bit more of a private donation, we have the option for a GoFundMe. You can use !GoFundMe in the chat. Both commands were just used, so the link should be available if you want.
Returning to the Charlotta Super Bowl action. We're at a new stage for us anyway, but it's a very Grand Blue looking stage. Clouds in the background of loser semis. I would say loser semis is played in an astral plane like this, you know, because the circumstances and the consequences for losing are so great.
It's the overhead. It's gonna hurt.
I mean, losing loser semis, A, it's only 2 out of 3, so it stings, and B, you're not even in the top 3 photo, no medals. Just kidding. Everyone wins at the Charlotta Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, this is very much, this is not, you know, there's no pride on the line, there's nothing going here, we're putting on a show to raise some money, and it's been a hell of a show so far. Detroit belt, I love it.
It's not a Charlotta show without a jump L full combo conversion into close at him. I mean, that's just, somehow it always has enough hit stun for her best combo.
Oh, I really like the decision making there. Round star parry catches the ball. Parry.
Yeah, and also a parry on the opponent's wake up in order to get a full punish on Charlotta DP on the other side. I mean, it's an amazing example of mirror match knowledge being demonstrated right now by Dogma and loser semis. Really good check on the dash pressure from Dogma there. Doesn't convert off of it, sadly, but manages to bring it out. Dogma going up game 1. Who'd have thought Grant player having some fundamentals here? Crazy, I know. I think there might be a bit of a connection between Grand Boot, or maybe Season 1 Boot, and Charlotta Ball. Neutral commanding horizontal moves with wall bounce property. Who doesn't love those?
I'm making jokes about it right now, but I do know that Dogma also plays May in Guilty Gear, and I think the similarity between those characters are both very, it is not unheard of.
Oh yeah. Totsugeki, another horizontally advancing, safe attack option that's very difficult to react to and gets more difficult the closer you get to it, right? So it's kind of like, you know, a semi-automatic rifle in character form. And whenever they choose to shoot, you might just get shot. Hard to work around it.
Neo Carson Chad making a good point. Like, all Charlotta and Grand players do share the one collective brain cell.
I mean, that's the brain cell that is going to score a wall bounce combo even from pretty far outside the corner. And the world now continuing to march forward, one away with a super confirm to possibly kill off an M. Probably looking for that M hit still, but has to deal with the plus streams first, just blocks it out.
Well, he loses the corner. I actually really like this decision making from Dogma. Getting away from the corner kind of... World is allowed to get out a little bit, but... Oh! We saw World's able to get out a little bit, but it did prevent him from getting hit with like a demon flip into an ambiguous situation, but World managing to clutch it out, doesn't get punished for that DP, and turns that into the game. Dogma, you are in a match right now. Get out of the chat.
Some people really gotta, you know, show that they're involved in the community in the middle of tournament action.
I don't want to hear it. He's in the middle of a match. I do not want to see this man posting. Stop. Just log off. You can come back when you're out.
Well, he's fully returned to focus now, marching forward with that fork, building a ton of meter through the offensive sequence, but a clutch forward jump gets rolled out of the corner temporarily, and next, the full charge 5H buffer in the ball did it. Delayed DP actually blocked, but not punished from Dogma, unfortunately for him, but blessing for the world, who is possibly going to win off the next hit.
Oh, absolutely. This is... And especially like at that spacing too, World could have hit EX ball, and if it is, that's it.
Yeah,
was in the wall range. That's it. World going up to set point.
I mean, yeah, 3-hit light confirms into super is an amazing thing to have in your arsenal in Grand Blue. 2L, 2L, RL, no matter what the normals are.
It's a really solid way to... It's definitely a solid way to capitalize and be able just to kind of close some rounds out. One of the things that I think is a level of a high-level player is just being able to not overcommit when you have a life lead. All you need to do is hit confirm off 1 or 2 lights directly into super for the win. Like it's a really crucial tool for what I'd call high-level plays.
Yeah, and I think having it off 3 in particular enables you not just to react with the correct input for the combo, but also anticipate how much meter you're going to build, and possibly build super on to kill them real nice and early before anyone was expecting to die.
Absolutely, and you know, Dogma managing to clutch it out, bringing us to last round. You know, no matter what happens at the end of this, one of these players is going home after this.
Yeah, and Knight has fallen upon the stage too. It's gonna be a 1v1.
Dogma trying to get out. Oh, it's bad.
Accidental charge move release, perhaps, so
yeah,
Dogma not able to secure as much damage.
Sadly, not the... That's it.
Not yet.
No.
Though. I mean, it's real hard to come back on Charlotta like this.
This is dangerous.
It would take a corner Blanca Ball Noble strategy.
Oh, the trade does not work out.
How did Charlotta get into the air there off of the clash? I'm wondering how they traded too. What move just even happened?
From what I understand, she was in the middle of Noble strategy, and I think it just did not, like, some real goofy stuff happened, but it is what it is.
Full row of theater seats, and I know we have a packed crowd for this losers finals action. All 3 out of 5 sets from this point on. This one will surely be an excellent set to demonstrate the value of 3 out of 5. In a mirror match too, I mean, you're going to be really familiar with these tools by the end if you're not already after all of the matches today.
Speaking of familiar, Shadow Payoso, thank you for the 30-cent donation.
Shadow Payaso, familiar to me. What's up, Jeremiah? Nice to see you.
You know, we got 13 codes left. That's $3.90 going into the pot. We've already raised $123.59. Thank you to /GG for the 30-cent donation. 12 codes left, guys. Shadow Payoso with the $15 contribution. Thank you so much. It is very much appreciated. You know, we have come here together to make sure to get money for a family grieving. Funerals are not cheap. The expenses around them are not cheap. It is a miserable thing to think about after the death of the loved one. So thank you all. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to this tonight. Like, you are going out of your way to make the lives easier on a family in need, and it is greatly appreciated.
It makes me feel much better to know that a bunch of Charlotta players and spectators and commentators can get together and make a positive impact in a trying, devastating time. Yeah, especially among, you know, even people that just like watching and laughing at Granblue videos on Twitter. That was my most regular interaction, was seeing and knowing that a specialist Son or Zerms edit was about to come on Twitter and just always watching the whole thing. Saw Charlotta on a lot of those too.
Oh yeah, and like if you were in a Granblue Discord or if you were adjacent to it, like you'd always log in, there'd be some goofy meme or something, just like general original content for a game that does not have a lot of content creators is really important for a scene. Like, it's a good way to get eyes on it, and Zerms went out of his way to put that together, and it's, you know, it's a loss that's definitely felt.
Whoa.
I think it's dead.
I don't know. I mean,
it was at the VA. It's close.
Yeah, it's
I was at the VA. That was real input. That was it.
Battle 2.
I actually don't know about the scaling properties with quick input versus real input. Oh, double clash situation, but DP solves that issue. Only way to continue clashing would have been for World to DP as well. My work's cut out for me. Well, yes, it is, but I mean, less work ahead of Elsa now that World is cornered and lacking at about 40% life.
Elsa's got all of their cooldowns back, has the options to work out of this. We'll see where it goes.
Spot dodge through the entire Sword of Lumiel. Now Elsa, using their own on a punish, re-secures the corner once again, and with Super on deck, this is looking pretty rough for World, who dies here and now.
Elsa tying it up.
All of our sets have gone 1-1 so far for like the past maybe 45 minutes.
You know, I'm seeing the sweep emoji in the chat, but we ain't got no sweeps here, except for the 3 that we saw last round.
What we need is a sweep emoji that also faces the opposite direction to the previous one, because we're clearly equal and opposite forces right now with the score being 1-1.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, goes for it. Goes for the call out. Gets blown up for it, though. Not looking good. Well, Elsa still has a lot of health, but that was... You know, I understand the decision-making on it, especially at that point. Elsa had a pretty substantial life lead and had the ability to kind of risk, and I think that raw SBA would have won the game, but that's it.
It looks like World lost on an anti-air attempt there. I wonder if it was a close H anti-air. Charlotta choose that quite frequently for its amazing amount of active frames, plentiful quantity. It might have been a late 2H though, which is why JL counter hit gave Elsa the round they needed.
Yo, the DP? Respectable.
Yeah. I mean, both, they got itchy trigger fingers on DP.
Itchy triggy fingers, huh? Just, are we let's say, are we at like chalky milk cringe levels now? Is this just where we're at?
That's unfortunately what comes out of my mouth by accident some of the time.
So we saw this match earlier. We saw Zerms take it 3-1 over Elsa. You know, it's definitely one of those things where GG's, it was close, Owen whatever, but we're gonna get this, you know, we're gonna get this cracking, boys.
Great. Tony the Tiger on the Grand Blue narration, telling us how good we're doing, raising this money and supporting the Matcherino. Great.
Nosin, we're down to 9 codes on the Matcherino left, y'all.
With punishing, the Charlotta ball is Elsa, a master of the spacing. Regardless of the diamond differential between these two, I feel like Elsa has had the most Charlotta ball whip punishes the whole tournament.
One thing I'll definitely say that I've noticed a lot about this is that Elsa has been really good at just capitalizing on just general fundamental basics. Like, we've seen a lot of really good spatial controls, good hit confirms, and just managing to clutch things out where it mattered.
Yeah, not often choosing the more aggressive mix-up options, not as often doing noble strategy throw, you know, no demon flip in, just kind of like contained, knows the value of Charlotta's normals. Long range for their quickness, right? That's kind of it's really incredibly difficult to get in on Charlotta's S and 2S range. Her personal coverage is so good. She's got the quick DP as well and a parry, so she's a defensive powerhouse. And she moves fast.
Like, overall, she's a very versatile character. You know, with a lot of the changes, with a lot of things going on, she's technically, I've seen a lot of people write her as one of the best characters in the game, and we're seeing a lot of it. Why? Like, this character has versatile style, can do a lot of different things, has good buttons, good options. And if we're all just
long range
2L,
2L 5L.
you know, buffed a little bit by net play.
Oh!
I told you all earlier, like, we're gonna see Super into EXDP, the Zerms special. Oh, just letting it rip.
No recovery, really. I mean, and you might as well mash the DP if they're trying to punish with anything that's just a little bit too slow after such uncertain timing on a spot dodge, you know? If you don't spot dodge it as soon as possible, the Charlotta will still recover before you. It almost makes just DPing against the super a more preferable option.
It does.
Air-to-air pickup straight to the super. Excellent awareness from Zerms, who's now just a throw away, possibly an overhead away from killing. There's the throw tech. Now Chip is a threat, but Elsa jumps out of the corner, finds the counter hit. The mounted offensive sequence is happening now. Oh! Zerms pulls the trigger on EX ball. Counter hits the charging 5H from Elsa. That's you can look on Charlottas who are trying to make comebacks to charge a lot of 5H. It's a very valuable counter hit in terms of damage.
So we're seeing it right now. It's very good pressure sequences. One thing that Zerms has made a lot of use of is he's very good at leveraging tick throw versus just general pressure options, and I think that's something that's really important in terms of this character. Her throw is very fast. It's really hard to kind of gauge and look at some of the things like that. So when you see them do, when you see the power of how well Zerms optimizes that.
Yeah, right. It has an understanding of the frantic state of defending against the character. I feel like Zerms and Charlotta has probably played a lot of the mirror, to be honest, because you can tell in their offensive decisions, too, how they win so often in scrambles that they create, that they're incredibly comfortable with the character in every capacity, and they know how to condition you with them. And a punish on DP. Big win for Elsa. Not a round win yet, though. Still has 3 other special moves, though, to secure it. Be on the lookout for EX Sword of Lumiel to force the offensive situation. The fact that a throw itself will kill. I mean, there's a lot of threats right now. And waiting for the DP, finds the kill on the last hit. Elsa's so patient in the approach. Knows that Zerms is going to be uncomfortable in the corner after a while and finds the anti-air DP. What a great kill from them.
Just not going out without a fight. Elsa is definitely turning it up.
Certainly not. Yeah. 3-hit auto combo confirmed. Still has DP. Still has a... What's the down input special move? Let me see that. 5L, 2L running up. Zerms blocks out patiently for the first, but then tries to swing away after the second. Elsa takes advantage, on the verge of taking the game now. Unfortunately corners themselves on a Demon Flip anti-air buffer, and now Zerms has a huge chance to take a 2-1 lead, a 2-0 lead. Is this happening now? I'm not exactly sure. It's a dramatic moment.
The music just hit.
Ah, there it is.
Zerms going up 2-0 in the grand finals.
Now, what if I told you I knew it would kill, but I just wasn't willing to give up on it yet? You know, that game felt at so many points that it could have been Elsa's, but then that tragic Demon Flip into the corner, full counter hit by Zerms took advantage immediately.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I'm saying right now is it's really important is Elsa needs to build some momentum here. They are in a very dangerous place, and you know, Zerms coming from winner's side only has to win 1-3 out of 5 to take this tournament, but
only has to win one more round now. That's super gonna do it.
That ends it. It's God damn.
Zerms could do it with a 3-0. PS4 champion on the verge of being crowned. Matching their costume color with the background of the space. I mean, it kind of looks like this is Charlotta's holy order right now, and we're in her kingdom.
A man's coming out here with the PS quad fundamentals.
Yeah. Oh. When you see that M Charlotta ball counter hit something, it just feels like an actual shotgun.
Oh, it is. And like when you get hit, you get hit.
Full charge H lands as a counter hit, but we didn't see any confirmation into EX
the knockdown into the corner. It's dangerous.
That even on life, and Elsa staying patient, only taking the chip, but tries to jump out once, got balled for it. Now out of the corner, Zerms on the defense. Elsa confirms, maybe saving super to kill? No, taking the Oki after. This is a one-hit throw strike situation now.
Yeah, this is absolutely, you know, I would say this is like...
Even a DP will kill, so you can look on Elsa to maybe look to use it defensively. Maybe try to anti-air a ball or something. Or a Demon Flip. Then there, you can DP now. Oh, wait! Why? There it is.
Catches it. Elsa showing signs of life. Very good decision making.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you can tell I was kind of hot on the tail of Elsa's decision making there. Killing with DP. Didn't do it against the super, unfortunately, but was able to find it later after pursuing Zero moving backwards in the air. Punish? Too far?
Yeah.
Maybe I have to do 2S. I'm not exactly sure.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the strike throw mix-up that Zerms is very good at. But Elsa mashing out. Gets the confirm.
Must have been
Signs of
knowing
life.
Oh, close H plus unblock, of course, and finds the counter hit. Close H after. Elsa could kill with any overhead, any
Breaker.
Oh, even
Takes it. Oh, this is bad.
That's gonna do it. It's over.
Y'all, I'm thinking this might be pack watch.
Abandon all hope. It's Zerm once again representing that same option we saw them use earlier. Knowing that the Charlotta wants to ball into DP to anti-air you, Zerm just empty jumps, doesn't swing at it, doesn't try to punish it, recovers early enough to punish the DP themselves, and that's why Zerm is your PS4 Charlotta Super Bowl champion.